Welcome back, everyone, to Pontus Fathom Hobbies. This is season 1 of Viking Gods. I've got a real treat for you guys here today. So it's New Year's cleanup, and I was going through some old boxes, and I found this ancient copy of this micro game, TSR micro games or mini games. It's called Viking Gods: The Gods versus Chaos in Deadly Final Combat. I actually lost the board. I have the original pieces, the original booklet, but actually in this treasure trove here, I've even got some custom rules that I've made for this. So I'm going to set this up. We're going to walk through it and play a couple turns of this and see how it goes. So yeah, real treat for you guys today. Before we jump in, quick shout out to Pontus Fathom Press, Volume 1 and 2 of the Bogman Saga, Killingworth Bogman, Carolina Tobacco Geist. If you guys want to go check out our bookstore below, can help support the channel. You can also hit us up on the Patreon. Can go check out our alt videos on Rumble and Odyssey. If you want to support us over there. And as usual, liking, subscribing, sharing helps us out here. So go check out the bookstore, see what we've got down there. If you haven't liked and subscribed and you like the content, please help grow the channel. So you guys can see this is a printed out board. I actually printed this board out years ago from the original. It was kind of like a poster, fold out poster that would fit in the box with this. These counters are original, although I have created some duplicate counters when I made it. And then I just quickly mocked up the missing piece of the board here just with some paper. So we're going to get the game set up. But I also kind of want to talk about a little bit about the custom rules. So first off, this is I kind of want to go through this like ancient matter here. It says Viking Gods mini game. Odin, the chief of the Norse gods, broods in the great hall of Valhalla and prepares for the battle. As time grows short, his warrior maidens, the Valkyries, bring him Norse warriors who have died bravely in battle. Here the chosen warriors will feast and fight, training for Ragnarok, the final battle of the gods. On that day, the evil god Loki will lead an army of fire giants and huge monsters against the Norse gods and their human allies. The earth will shake as the great battle begins. Lead the Norse gods in their defense of the Tree of Life, or storm across the Rainbow Bridge in search of your victory. Which side will you command in this exciting game of Ragnarok? So it's basically the forces of Loki. So here you've got... maybe I'll zoom in on these. I got this board set up here too. So yeah, so let me kind of go into the high level rules. You've got Loki and the evil gods, Loki, Fenris Wolf, Hela, Frost Giants, Fire Giants, Garm, and Thrym. These are all the forces of chaos. So you've got some Frost Giants that start up in the Frost Giant area. You've got some Fire Giants that I believe they start in the woods. And then we've got the gods. So you've got a whole host of Norse gods here, from Odin, Dvalin, Frekingrir, Frey, Heimdall, Magni, Modi, Sif, Thor, Tyr, Uller, Valkyries, Yggdrasil, etc. So we've also got I've got this stand-in for Frey's storm marker. So that's the we'll kind of go into the setup, but I kind of want to go into some of this other marginalia that I've got. So I've printed out this, so you can see there's a sheet here, like sort of the contact sheet, that has all of the forces of the gods. And basically you play this with a die 6, and you've got a combat table here. So attacker defeated, defender retreats, attacker retreats, defender defeated is the die roll. And you can modify the die by the number that's on the token. And then there's some terrain effects for the glacier. Heimdall starts here. You've got mountains. You've got the Bifrost Bridge. Loki would start here on the Bifrost Bridge. So yeah, so we'll get that set up. But I wanted to show you a couple of these mods, first of all. So I also have this typewriter typed. This is typed on a typewriter. Can you imagine this? The dwarves. I added some custom pieces. So we've got the dwarves, Skirnir, the stone giants, and the storm giants. So these kind of go for, I think these are the forces these are the forces of good, and then these go on the storm giant, and the storm giant and the stone giant are sort of the chaos feature. So we added a character each to them. So, and then we also have the World Tree Yggdrasil. I must have lost it because I drew it here. So I've got this little token drawn, and I've got this stone giant sort of drawn. You can kind of see these. I drew this little stone giant. It's funny. Then there's the dwarves. I drew the dwarf troops. Kind of see them there. Barely. They're very small pieces. I'll show you Loki, for example. Here's a Loki and Thor. Here's a Loki and here's Thor. These little tokens here. So you set up the Asgard forces in Asgard. You set up the forces of chaos on the Rainbow Bridge, and then we sort of do turn by turn play from there. The Rainbow Bridge collapses under the weight of the monsters. So they as they're coming across, they're actually collapsing the Rainbow Bridge. So you use these tokens, these sort of like smashed space tokens, to indicate the broken Rainbow Bridge, like the void through space. So I think we'll play. We're going to play with these mod rules. So the dwarves, they've got little character bios for all the different creatures, and maybe we can go through all of those in the setup, initial setup this round. But I also wanted to call out another. I didn't make rules for these, but I used to read the Thor comic books, and these were. I've got Marvel's Celestials from the Thor comics. Now this is way before there was an MCU or any movies of this, right? So you've got all of these Celestials like Oneg, Arshem, S1E0a. These are all the kind of like the Jack Kirby, and you can kind of make out the celestial heads. There's Arshem, Isan, Ziran, Zemaya, Oneg. And then I also made the Unimind. And then if you guys know from Thor, if you've ever seen Thor Dark World, this is the Destroyer, which is a giant kind of robotic creature that was in the Thor comics. So maybe what I plan to do is we'll play the game. I'll also play with my mod, with dwarves and storm giant and the stone giants. But then we'll do maybe a bonus round where we'll put the Celestials on the board. The thing about the Celestials is they're super OP, so they're very overpowered. So the idea was when the Celestials come to attack Asgard, the Asgardian good guys and the forces of chaos have to unite to fight them. So maybe we'll do a late round. We'll reset it up with that. So so before we set up the board, we'll kind of go through the player pieces. And so how to win? It says the forces of chaos must destroy Yggdrasil, the Tree of Life. And setting up, the chaos players are set up first. You put Thrym and the Frost Giants on the glacier spaces. So let's go ahead and do that. So here's Thrym, and I'll show you his Frost Giants. Just put them on here. Thrym and the Frost Giants are here. Right, so they start out in the glacier space, so we'll put them up here. Sort of the leader. And then we set up the all other chaos players start on the Rainbow Bridge, which is down here, and Loki has the main spot. So I think I remember from playing this in the past that I would set this up with the Fire Giants as kind of like the fodder here. I just load them up first. In Surtur, you guys might remember Surtur. I'll put these all on the board so you guys can see them. I'll zoom in on these so you can check them out. The Fenris Wolf, the world serpent. So that's all the forces of chaos. So we'll put these guys down here. Loki gets that. He's leading the armies across. And then I always put these guys kind of trailing in the back. Super powerful guys. And fire giants go up in front. And then I believe Hela starts in the space marked Hela, which is there. She starts there. Put these guys here. You can move these up here. Fenris Wolf at the end. So this is kind of like redoing the Battle of Ragnarok, right? So the idea of the Norse mythology Ragnarok. So then, now to do our mod rules for the forces of chaos, we also have to add in the stone giants. Stone giants, they start in the mountains. So we will put the stone giant up in these mountains here. And the storm giant, dwarves start the game on the only northern mountain west. There's two giants may start on any of the south mountains. So the stone giant and the storm giant start in the south mountains. The dwarves start in this one space inside the river. And then, so that's that special rule. And then the other players from the Asgard players, Heimdall. Let's kind of show you guys these guys as well. Might as well put them all on here so you can see. I showed you Thor already, but Heimdall. Oh, is this Frey's storm? Oh, we do have a Storm of Frey, so we don't need that. We have the actual Storm of Frey here. This is Frey can change the weather. Put it down here, make it easier to see. So here's Heimdall. You can see all these Asgardian forces. There's Odin there. Here's Odin. And so there's those tokens. You can see those guys. You can see they have a little number next to them. So Heimdall is going to start. Heimdall here. And then it says the Asgard players start anywhere west of the Nordkapp River. So I'll just put these guys here. And then the Tree of Life. I guess this Storm of Frey stays outside here. You can put these here. I guess we'll just put Yggdrasil as far away as we can, put it back there. And the NAR, the human forces, they can start here. I think the dwarves start in that mountain spot, so they're good. Skirnir is the fighter loyal to Frey, so Skirnir can start next to Frey, shield bearer. And the rest of these characters can just mass in this area. And then there's also the Valkyries. I'll show you the Valkyries and the sort of the human heroes that have come from Valhalla. They're also here represented. So you can see those, a group of them. Here's the Valkyries and them. I believe the Valkyries can fly. And I'll kind of go through the individual player pieces. They've got some great little bios for everyone, and and their special powers. So we can go into that as we're playing in the game. Maybe we'll do a second setup round just to get everything going. Okay, so that's the basic setup. I will put the Celestials aside for now, and I'll keep this hard card out. I'll get some dice out, and we will jump into round one. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Looking forward to this one. It's kind of a strange one, but yeah. Leave a comment below if you've played this before. I probably haven't played it in 20 years, so I'll be making my way through it. It's a pretty simple game. It's really just a dice grinder, but it'll be fun anyway. So yeah, so I'll see you in turn one. Check out the link above, and we'll see you in the next round. Bye-bye.